What's up, everybody? It's your girl vibing with Ned, and I'm back again, working on these videos, trying to drop them. Um, guys, what you see in front of him, in front of you, and in front of me, is Sonya Massey autopsy results released by officials. This is the full press conference. Um, so y'all, this is not easy for me because I have a physical disability. So if I kind of, if you hear me kind of, it's because I'm trying to fight back my emotions because I'm a I'm 49 years old. I have a disability. Right now, I was not too dependent on my pendant. Uh, my pendant is my lifeline. This button is to help me if I fall, if I feel something, if I feel weird or anything, or if something is going on in my home. I'm registered. This button will, if I hit this button and it goes off, I can speak. It's I can take this anywhere I go. As long as it's charged up, it goes with me. It's around my neck. I was not wearing this recently. Because I stay at home most of the time, guys. I was not wearing these. And I would think that, and I don't know her situation, but I feel like she should have had some kind of bracelet, some kind of life alert bracelet with a different color that stated, and maybe I can get something like that started. Because if I have one of these around my neck, then people then and if I push it, they already know my name. They already know, Miss Gabo, Internet, do you need help? If I'm not responding, they're sending somebody. If there's somebody in my house and they know me, Miss Gabo, are you okay? Are you having issues? What's the problem? They're coming over on the intercom on my pendant. It's a small little box that goes around my neck and around my neck. It's hanging by a little metal rod in between it. It's a necklace. It hangs off the end of it, just like a little medallion. And it's got a real circle in the middle, and it lights up. When it's time for it to be charged, it goes, I think, all the way red. And then when it's charged up, it's all the way blue. But I have my device numbers on the back. Uh, they know my name. It's an intercom on top of it, and two little holes. One on top of the big round button in the middle, and then a little speaker over the top of that little round button, and the same little round button up underneath. And then the intercom is on top of the little pin little size holes. So yeah, so I just feel like we need to, have something like this. I'm wearing mine around my neck. When I get up in the morning, I put it on the charger for a little bit, and then it's coming back around my neck, y'all. Because I feel like she should, at least mental people, mental health, people with mental health issues, they need something that notifies or lets people know that they have a mental problem going on in their mind. Maybe that could save a lot more lives. I don't know, but let's get off into this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that post notification bell. Y'all comment down below what y'all think I just said. Or y'all articulate to me just like I articulate to y'all. Let's get it. and I will be trying, and I'm gonna let y'all watch some of it, and then I'm gonna come back and get my commentary on some more.
Teresa Haley with Haley and Associates, Envisions 1908. Today is a sad day. You've been here before. We're here to talk about the results of the autopsy. I am so grateful to have Attorney Ben Crump with us. But as I watch the video again, I have to reiterate, Black women are under attack. We fear for our lives as well. Again, we used to tell our sons, our husbands, our nephews, the men in our lives to be careful and what to do when you're stopped by the police. Now we have to tell ourselves, our daughters, our mothers, our sisters, our cousins. As I watched the video, I thought, this is not murder. This is an assassination. Judge for yourself. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to our very esteemed Attorney Benjamin Crump.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Teresa Haley, for helping this family and helping the community in these very difficult times. I'm Attorney Ben Crump, along with Attorney Natalie Jackson, Attorney Paul Greinke, and Attorney Jennifer Hightower. We have the honor of representing the family of Sonya Massey. Present with us today is her son Malachi Massey, her uncle Raymond Massey, as well as his daughter Shadia Massey. Also with me and Ms. Haley is Cliff Jones, who's going to assist me today as we talk about the results of the autopsy. Before we do that, I want to also talk about an update as we continue to probe and find out all the reasons why this tragedy happened, leading up before the killing and the aftermath of the killing. We talked about how the family wanted a thorough investigation as to why they didn't know until 24 hours later that the person who had shot Sonya Massey was a law enforcement official. Why weren't they told that from the very beginning when they showed up asking who did this? Malachi talked about how he was on the phone with the hospital officials, and he kept asking, they kept saying somebody shot her in her face, and told him in graphic detail at 5 o'clock in the morning what happened to his mother, but never told him who. Shadia and Jimmy went to the house at 6 a.m. that morning when law enforcement was all around. They kept asking the questions, who did this? What happened? Nobody told them that it was the sheriff's deputy, Sean Grayson, who had shot her in the face. They seemed to be led to believe that it was some prowler or something, because they started asking questions. Every time they would ask questions, they would be given questions. What was the history between her and the neighbor? And so it was troubling. So we wanted investigation, and I say we, the family, passionately wanted an investigation into that there, because they are suspicious of everybody and everything. Wouldn't you be if this happened to your daughter, your mother? And then we talked with the Department of Justice because we want to know more about the history of this sheriff's deputy who so flagrantly and senselessly shot and killed Sonya Massey with no remorse, no humanity after he did it, evidenced by the video. People contacted our office since we've had the press conferences, Teresa, And this is why we continue to try to fight not only in the court of law, but in the court of public opinion, because we know we have to fight to get justice. We don't assume that it's just going to happen for black people in America. Even when we got all the evidence in the world, all the visual evidence in the world, we still don't take it for granted. We know the lessons of Laquan McDonald and how the officer got a slap on the wrist, even though that evidence was on video, ocular proof of the crime. And we have been made aware that there were unsubstantiated allegations of excessive force by this officer allegedly on 2 occasions. One dealing with an African American who received injuries from allegedly a tasing, but regrettably, before the findings were concluded, the individual wouldn't cooperate because apparently he was dealing with the criminal charges. And so he apparently didn't trust the system to do right by him. So we know that that individual is now considering coming forward. Even though you have to understand, a lot of people, a lot of minorities in America don't come forward for many reasons. They don't call the police for many reasons because things normally don't turn out good for us when we call the police. Obviously, Sonya Massey is exhibit 1, but we're hoping and encouraging him to come forward and tell what happened with his interaction with Deputy Sean Grayson. And then the other individual we know is out there. We don't know what this situation is, but apparently they also complained about excessive, unnecessary force inflicted by the deputy. And the question really goes back to what Sonya's father, Mr. Weirburn, said. With the 2 DUIs, with the reprimand from the Army over serious misconduct, with the 6 different law enforcement agencies in 4 years, with whatever answers he answered in the questionnaires when he was interviewing for the job. When you asked about why did you leave this department, why did you resign from this, were there red flags missed? And should he have been hired in the first place by the sheriff's department? Those questions only get louder. You know, Malachi and
That's what I said. Some of these people, they should not be police officers. My brother is what? Well, he's a retired constable, a retired U.S. Marshal. So I used to worry about him, but I also worry about him. I used to worry about him being in the field. And the more and more it increasingly got dangerous, I wanted my brother out of law enforcement. I didn't want to bury my brother. I didn't want my brother to be putting nobody in the ground neither. Because I know people, all races will make you go there. But the senseless killing of black men, black women, brown men, brown women, and not so much the brown. It may be some, but definitely brown men, black men. Men, and it could be a man of mixed race too, because you still consider black at the end of the day. I just, it just, I don't know. I don't know, y'all.
Cliff Jones and us, we asked that question, you know, DUI guilty convictions? How do you even have a driver's license? Much less getting a job as a sheriff's deputy. Many questions
Come on now.
to be answered. And so we will be sending the formal letter to the Department of Justice with those things that we have been made aware of, and they have promised the family that they will work with the local agencies and they will try to get answers to all of these allegations of other instances of excessive force. And before you hear from Uncle Raymond Massey and Shadia Massey, and finally from Malachi Massey, we want to take a few minutes to go over the autopsy report because I think it's important. And Teresa, I'll tell you when to turn it over. And you all, I want to thank State Attorney John Heiser for making sure he got the autopsy to the family for transparency and that he's providing it to you all. Even though the family takes great exception with the Sheriff's Department, they have been very grateful that Mr. Millhouse's office has tried to be very transparent and very respectful to them as victims. And so he made sure that this autopsy report was released, and it should give you a lot of the things, answer a lot of the questions that you all asked previously. The biggest thing on the autopsy are the findings, and we will go through those. The conclusion is based on the information available to me and on the autopsy findings. It is my opinion that Sonya Massey, a 36-year-old black woman, died as a result of a gunshot wound to the head. And then it goes on to in more detail, and it says the gunshot wound of the head, the entrance was beneath the left eye. The injury, proliferation of the left internal subra. Now I'm looking at this word because I know it's not subdural artery, but it's an artery that is the blood vessel right beneath her eye. The exit, posterior left surface of the upper neck. Associated injuries, skull fracture, subdural hemorrhaging. Direction, front to back, downward and slightly right to left. Range, no soot or gunpowder stippling on the skin. If you could turn it over. And I would tell you, they had an anatomical model that is very important. Here, obviously, You have Sonya Massey with her beautiful smile. But you have, as they said, the injury right beneath the left eye. And then they talk about how the exit is posterior left surface of the upper neck, below the ear, below her hairline. Now, why this is so significant, is it confirms that Deputy Sean Grayson shot in a downward trajectory. He shot in a downward trajectory. This autopsy findings, coupled with the video where we see her ducking, saying, "Sorry, sir, sorry." He shot when she's making a motion coming up. That's how you get the downward trajectory. And you see on the video his arm. He aims down. He literally aims down. You see his arms braced in a downward trajectory. And we know that he walked 2 to 3 steps to his right, out away from the counter, where it was, we believe, from objective observation, to get a better shot at Sonya Massey. And when Sonya Massey was staring at the barrel of his gun, we see on the video what she did. She stooped down and said, "Sorry, sorry." And we believe that the bullet, the shot, was shot while she was in a stupid position coming up. And that's how you get the downward trajectory. And the autopsy confirms what everybody already knew on the video, that this was just a senseless, unnecessary, excessive use of force. Completely unnecessary. Certainly not justified. I mean, how can you justify this? She's all of 5'1", 110 pounds. He's approximately 6'5" inches tall. Approximately 260 pounds.
Did I not say that, y'all? This man would have been Jolly Green Giant over her. 200 and something pounds. Over 6 foot. I don't think he said. And she 5'10", and little bitty petite woman. Now, granted, I have a little size on me. Yeah, I'm a plus size 14 and a half. I'm a very small, in height woman. I still wouldn't harm a flea. So you put your gun in my face. You shoot at a downward trajectory. You shoot to kill me. You move so you can get a better shot. He knew what he was doing, y'all.
Completely excessive. Completely excessive. And so we will continue to provide you updates, evidence as we get it because we're not taking for granted that America won't see Sonya Massey like Deputy Sean Grayson saw her. We want to make sure that America sees her as a human being worthy of dignity and respect and consideration. We don't take it for granted. Your actions speak so loud we need not hear your words. And until we get a conviction and a sentence, we will continue to keep our foot on the gas and full steam ahead and fighting for justice for Sonya Massey. Full steam ahead. We understand far too often, especially as it relates to black women in America, there's not equal justice. There's not equal justice. And just like Sonya Massey said, and I continue to use her words, until this discriminatory criminal justice system gives full justice for the death of Sonya Massey, we rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Yes. Justice for Sonya Massey. Justice for Sonya Massey. Justice for Sonya Massey.
Justice for Sonya Massey. Yes.
At this time, you will hear from Uncle Raymond Massey, Mr. Wilburn, her father, and Miss Donna, her mother couldn't be with us today. And I really appreciate Malachi being here. This is very emotional. Even seeing these pictures, even though he hasn't been able to watch the video, because that's his mama. You can't, who wants to see their mother get killed like an animal? But even this was emotional for him, but he understood why we have to do it so we can get justice for his mother. So we're going to hear from Raymond Massey, and he's going to talk to you about the families continuing to struggle in these difficult times as they fight for justice. And then we're going to have his daughter talk to you. Mr. Raymond.
Thank you. I wanted to tell you that I loved Sonya very much. She was a beautiful black queen. She is the only family member that me and my wife was talking last night about. I've never once seen her angry or mad. She was always full of love, and she loved her kids and God. I call my sister Donna, Malachi, Summer, and their parents daily. And it hurts me so bad that the last time I spoke with Malachi, he had told me he finally got a little rest, and that was just the day before yesterday. And I can tell you that his sister is having nightmares to the point where we have to check the room. That just makes me so angry to see my family hurt as they do. It was so hard. It's hard for me to see my daughter and my nephew had to go in the house and clean up blood. And that just hurts me to see my family hurt. And after what Attorney Crump had talked about the autopsy, that is exactly why he needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Massey. Thank you very much, Mr. Massey. Now you will hear from Shadia Massey, who is her first cousin, Raymond's daughter, and even though she has 3 other sisters, she was raised with Shadia, and they were like sisters, and Shadia was...
Y'all, I'm going to come back in part 2 this, because I don't want to go too far over, but I want to bring y'all the full. So let's cut this short and start up in the next video. Comment down below what you seen and heard so far, how you feel about this, how you really actually feel. Because in the back of my mind, I'm saying the same thing. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. That's something that we was taught as black women by our mothers, our fathers, our grandfathers, you know? And for me, it's so personal to me. She, even though she was younger than me, she still had some kind of something going on, whether a woman or mental, whatever. Here's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter because it could be your mom, your cousin, your sister, your niece. We gotta do better, guys. We got to do better. Got to got to do better. Y'all comment down below. Let's like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time. Peace, empty nesters. Peace.